The Texas Longhorns took down Arizona State in exciting fashion today.
Exciting fashion is accurate.
We actually picked the game pretty well, considering not everyone was on Texas. Half of us. Mario's not here right now, but half of us picked Arizona State on the spread. It went to double overtime.
Oh my god!
This game came down to what could have been an insane targeting call.
Should have been.
Should have been a targeting call.
Okay, you could say there was a missed targeting on both sides.
It wasn't.
Isaiah Bond.
They reviewed it, and the ref came in and said that.
Well, that wasn't helmet to helmet. But let me just
into his chest.
He left his feet with intention to hit.
But Mike, what would it change?
With intention to hit.
Mike, listen, Mike.
On the head or neck area.
Real quick, the ruling. If the interception happens before the hit, which it did,
this was gonna happen.
Nothing would have changed.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about the interception, bro.
That was on the play that got
I'm talking about. No, that wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
So nothing would have changed because it was the pick, and then Bond got fucking smashed.
It was on the pick. When the targeting you're talking about was on the pick. They've only reviewed 2 targetings in the game. But yeah, they didn't call it. It went into overtime. A lot of missed field goals everywhere. 39-31 final score.
Bert.
Mike, I just want to open with you, see how you feel. We were watching it, and I know Ryan has a lot to say.
I was checking out.
They're in the semifinals. Woo. Congratulations to Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, hook 'em horns, dude. I'm glad that we're going back to Texas. But that game aged me 35 years, and I'm not too stoked on it. It's very painful when a team that you love so much just gets outcoached. And, Sark got just demolished coaching-wise. I think, especially with the run that we rely so heavily on to keep our offense as a balanced, just tough team to play against. I mean, we actually relied 100% on Quinn. And I mean, he threw a terrible pick. Granted that may or may not have sent us to OT, which I think I blame us going to OT 100% on Burt, not on Quinn.
Your kicker, for anyone not.
Yeah, Burt Auburn, I think the devil needs to take care of him. The devil.
You can't be backing someone all year and then just stop.
You know the Texas Ohio State game is going to come down to a kick, and Mike has wished death on their kicker so many times. He's going to miss because of Mike.
You know what the thing is this whole season I've been joking that Burt Auburn needs to keep his field goal percentage to 69, and unfortunately I feel like I was proven right today because he was doing too well in the playoffs, getting a little bit too hot, and then he just fucking shanks everything that we needed him to make. And I mean, how do you let Quinn push you down in the fourth quarter, get you exactly the spot that you want to be, 35 yards out with 2 seconds to go, should have never gotten us to overtime, and you just push it left? I mean, you are awful at your freaking job, bro.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts? And then I want to hit on a couple key points.
I mean, I'm sure I'll have more thoughts as you guys go, and then I'll just keep jumping in and out.
Auburn for that game.
I will 100% blame Burt Auburn. I will also blame the fact that continue.
Okay, well, first off,
continue.
The Texas offense was outgained. Arizona State dominated the entire game.
Correct.
Texas, at no level in this game was dominant. Texas had a 3-play, 75-yard drive to open it, and then a kick return for a touchdown.
Yep.
So that was their 14 points. That was their only touchdowns until the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So the entire game between 8 minutes in the first quarter and heavily into the fourth is just Arizona State chunking away yards. They missed 2 field goals. Arizona State's kicker's awful. They had walk-on tryouts for the guy mid-season. They grabbed a guy off the fraternity lot.
Kicked a 40-yard to start the game. What are you guys talking about?
And then missed one right after.
What do you mean? What am I talking about?
Yeah, okay, they missed one right after.
What do you mean? What am I talking about? That was known that they had kicking problems all year, and they went and grabbed a kicker that wasn't on the team.
Yeah, the guy nailed a 40-yarder to start the game.
That doesn't change the fact that what I said is exactly true, but it's fine. This is what you guys like to do. But I'm saying they dominated the game, passing and rushing. Until you get to overtime in the last drive, which we're going to talk about on the fourth quarter. I think the biggest part of this game for me was just Arizona State not capitalizing on opportunities. The
100%.
amount of times they got in the red zone, the amount of times they got close to the goal line, whether it was missed field goals, not converting, close to the end zone. I mean, Cam Scatabo played an unbelievable game.
Unbelievable.
280 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns. He dominated. He won MVP of the game. Texas should be thanking every single lucky star they have, and the refs for not calling an obvious targeting at the end of the game. This also wasn't super contested, by the way. It was pretty much
the announcers and the ref
on everything on social media, every single major sports poster. It's targeting. It's helmet to helmet, defenseless receiver targeting.
Yeah, but that's not what. Okay, so targeting isn't supposed to be any time.
Nope, you're right. It's when a helmet to helmet.
Stop and let me talk.
No, you just cut me off. And then how are you going to say for me not to cut you off too?
I'm talking about your point. You're talking about targeting. I'm telling you what targeting is. Targeting,
as if everyone doesn't know what targeting is.
Well, targeting shouldn't be any time a helmet hits each other.
I don't think anyone said
and
that.
I don't feel like that play was. I think it was incidental, not intentional. I think is the best way to put it. Right? I think
targeting has nothing to do with intent.
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't.
We're both
your helmet. It doesn't.
It hits another guy's helmet. Head on. And no other body part touches. That's targeting.
That's targeting. If you, it doesn't even have to be helmet.
He also didn't launch.
He also didn't trip. He went like this.
It can also be shoulder. It doesn't have to be helmet to helmet. It's if you hit a defenseless player or someone with the ball in a way that's like you throwing yourself or hitting them in their helmet.
Dude, it wasn't. Okay.
That's targeting. That's what it is.
All right. Okay.
You can try to defend it.
You wanted if you want to clarify, I guess I was in the middle of a point. You wanted to jump in and throw a definition.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yep. Okay. We got away with it. Sick.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%. Wasn't even a sweat.
I mean, they're wrong, but sure.
Mike.
For the sake of not going in a circle,
Mike,
sure.
Go online and find me one person that says this wasn't targeting, they messed up, or they did it right.
Okay.
If you went on Twitter, it would say everyone's targeting. If you went to the ref that comes on during the game that says, hey, this should be targeting. This is a clear definition of the rule. The ref that they bring in from New York and say, I have no idea how this wasn't targeting. Said, the announcer said, this is unfortunate for Texas. They're probably going to lose this game. Started talking about already after. They already started talking about after what's the targeting call. And so all these people, including us, are wrong.
Yeah.
That's just ignorant, classic Texas, ignorant about their wins when they should lose.
It's
classic Ohio State fan, just fucking. Yeah,
what does that do with Ohio State?
He's getting upset. He's trying to take shots at a team that actually dominates real teams.
We'll talk about Ohio State in a little bit, but Ryan, what else do you see in this game? Because that was kind of my analysis. I thought Scatterbo dominated. They had Texas couldn't run the ball.
Yeah,
they were averaged 1.8 yards per carry on 30 attempts. So I've never seen besides the Georgia game their inability to rush. Quinn played a really good game except for his one terrible interception at the end. But it shouldn't have mattered. Arizona State missed a million opportunities.
No, they should have went up by 10.
Yeah, they should have been a blow up.
I actually would love... People are going to find this weird, but I think Sam Levitt choked this game. Early in the game, he was saying like how he was better than Quinn and trying to put a lot of this ego stuff on the board. He got like a first down and started putting his hands up to the crowd. There were multiple plays on when they went downs, missed field goal, downs. Those 3 downs, he had quarterback or RPOs that it's always Scatterbo throughout the whole year. And for some reason he kept for -1 yard, for 4th and 1 to stop him. And Scatterbo should have got them every single time, which would have got them in position to score, I think. At least the field goal would have changed the dynamic of this game.
That's why Scatterbo was getting so pissed on the sidelines.
No, that's why the meme went viral. He only had 40 yards at halftime.
Yeah,
so he was going viral.
Yelling at the team.
He was like, Levitt, what are you doing?
He's like, give me the ball.
You've never done this. We've watched Arizona State games. It's always been Scatterbo. It's never been Levitt. He held the ball, which is fortunate. Maybe it just got in his head. The moment was too big and he wanted to be the guy. That was terrible. Also, I've never seen such a domination by a team. That was, such an underdog. Every aspect of the game, defensively, offensively. Let's not get it twisted. They got a return for a touchdown. They had 7 points off the first drive in 2 seconds. They didn't score a fucking point, a single freaking point, or do anything till the 4th quarter. That's the most embarrassing.
They had a field goal.
That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. This Texas team didn't deserve to win by any standard. They got outplayed, outcoached, just like Michael. I'm repeating Michael's words.
You're agreeing
with
They
got completely outcoached by a mile. They got outplayed at every aspect of the game besides Quinn slightly outplaying Levitt because Levitt made terrible plays to start, kind of improved during the end, but every other aspect was completely dominated on. These quarterbacks actually were getting beat also. Personal bad holdings, flags. I think just complete domination across the board, but this is the type of game where you have to win. If you get dominated and you win, you get the W. I just think I've never seen a call. It's kind of like that Georgia Tech game we were talking earlier.
To keep Georgia in it.
Yeah, to keep the Georgia in it. I just felt like this game had an agenda as soon as that was called, and then everything played out afterwards.
How do you feel about that?
All right. That's your opinion. I have no other words to say. I don't think it was a targeting, and I feel like I don't know how we're gonna not.
I wasn't asking
circle.
just about the targeting. I was talking maybe about addressing everything else that he said.
Okay, I feel like
unless you don't want to talk about it.
No, I mean I disagree. I feel like Sam Levitt. I thought Sam Levitt, yes, on the RPOs in the first half before he adjusted. I mean, I don't know. In general, I think he actually played a decent game. I think maybe he didn't play a decent game. I think myself, really underestimated his athleticism. The fact that he was able to escape a lot of the pressures that we were sending at him was unbelievable. I think not a lot of quarterbacks would have been able to do that. And I think that's why Texas defense has been so good this year, is because most quarterbacks can't do what he did. So that was really impressive to me on that front. Again, like I said to open it up, I think it was embarrassing, just in general for that comeback in the second half. Texas tends to have their third quarter slumps every single freaking game.
That's the new Ohio State not being able to start.
Yeah, maybe, but which is freaking sucks. But not only that, it also hurts really bad when the two people who I feel like are our best players, both, Jahdae Barron is the one who got, I think, a pretty big touchdown scored on him in the end. And then Michael Taft was the one today. Michael Taft got absolutely burned for like a 50-yard play at the end of the fourth as well. So it's like, that kind of sucks. I think defensively we're going to need to adjust there. But again, I think Sam Levitt, he did play. He had very bad options and choices that he made, but some of the plays and his abilities to get, himself into a position to make a throw was impressive. So that's how I felt. But
it seems like you and Ryan probably agree most. You guys are pretty similar on how the game went. You obviously disagree on the targeting, which no one will ever come to an agreement on. Texas fans will say, I guess it's not, and everyone else in the world will say it is.
I mean, dude, it's the same.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's the same idea as like the Clemson thing against Ohio State, where it was like,
that wasn't a fumble. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a fumble. It's the same. It's the same idea.
No. That wasn't a one fan base versus the world. People were equally split across the world.
But yeah,
that was 100% different.
Well, one thing
this is only Texas fans talking about a targeting.
My only additional thing.
Only Texas fans talking about targeting.
Only additional thing I want to say on this is, Texas is in big trouble. When I get, we're already in the Final Four, so there's only 2 games left in the season. So you already made it here, which is massive. This is obviously an elite team. This defense is not what everyone said it is. I'm sorry.
Only teams they've played have all scored 30.
Exactly. And not even that, in the yardage.
That's true.
The yardage. They didn't allow 350 yards to any team. Georgia then does it in the SEC championship. Everyone's like, oh, okay, that was the biggest scoring. Clemson then goes and puts 430 on them, 340 passing. And then everyone's like, wow, this is the new number. 515 total yards of offense today from Arizona State. I mean, they 296 through the air and 214 rushing.
That's absurd.
Averaging 4.4 per carry. So I don't want to hear, and that's why I know when you're like our 2 best players, Jahdae Barron and Michael Taft, they've been great, and the stats look great at the secondary because you didn't play quarterbacks. When you do,
what we were saying
you haven't been able to do anything.
To be fair, they also had like a lot more time with the ball, right? So it's like, in general, like if we're looking at the first quarter alone, it was 2 minutes to 13 minutes, right? And so it's like the more time you have, the more
so your defense wasn't able to stop them.
Well, it's also like it's okay. Yeah, I guess that's one way.
Correct. Sure. That's exactly what I'm saying. The defense wasn't okay. The defense couldn't get them off the field because they kept getting so many yards.
Well, we also scored insanely fast, right? So
if they weren't getting yards, they wouldn't have the ball for a long time.
He's just talking about Arizona State's
I'm talking about possession. Strictly when Arizona State is touching the football, their ability to move it on Texas defense.
Yeah,
was mind-boggling for me.
I mean, also Texas defense and Texas offense, but both sides of the ball were getting penalties freaking everywhere, which extended a lot of drives, which was not good.
And it was interesting because you didn't get penalized against Clemson at all, but these weren't really questionable penalties. I mean, these PIs, like the face masks that
the face mask was bad.
Well, no, that's all. It was all of them, dude. They were hacking these wide receivers, and so like,
which is weird because they're nothing. They were wide receiver 3s and 4s.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying is that it's a very highly graded defense, and it's. I don't know if it should be surprising anymore that this is starting to happen.
We've been saying this all year though.
They're going into Ohio State, and I know this isn't a preview of the game, but if Clemson torched them through the air, These guys torched them on the ground and through the air on big plays, and then you're going to see a whole nother level coming up. So that was my biggest takeaway of the game, because I always expected Texas to win, to be honest. I was watching the game with the guys here, and I was just like, at any point, I didn't believe Arizona State could actually win. Something was going to happen. Texas was going to end up winning.
4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I thought we were going to lose.
Yeah, but not really.
No, I really
Texas
thought we were
football.
Lose.
They want the SEC.
I knew they wanted Texas in. I was even, when the targeting happened and they were screaming it was targeting, Mike, I said they weren't going to call it.
He did. He was the only one who said they weren't going to call it.
I was the only one who said they weren't going to call it.
Mario and I targeting, but okay.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't, but we can wrap it up.
Yeah, comment below if you think it's targeting.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Let us know. We'll see
if it's targeting.
Let's prove Mike wrong or right.
We're never going to win that argument, but we're covering college football pretty much exclusively. We've been talking about these teams all through the playoffs, and we're going to talk Ohio State game, I know, in the next episode coming out today. But these two teams, they get to play each other now. So it all gets to be handled, and this next 10 days of content is going to be freaking electric. So let us know what you think. Drop a follow, drop a subscribe. Let us know if it's targeting. Please let us know if it's targeting, and we'll see you on the next one.
Welcome, Horns, baby.